Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that little delay there. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list video here today. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get started considering we got on a little bit late here today, so we're not going to have as much time. So let's go ahead and get to sharing the screen so we can kind of run through some of the stocks that I'd like to talk about. 1 second. All right, so let's start here with the first stock on the watch list. I'll talk about this stock particularly first, ORCL. So ORCL was a stock here this morning that was an earnings play that is currently gapping down. So this particular stock is going to be one of my main focuses today. All right, so ORCL is a stock that had an earnings. It's gapping down. As you can see from after hours, it spiked to $48.40. Then it dropped all the way down to a low of $44, where it's currently holding a support. If you look at the stock here on a yearly chart, you will see that $44 was previously a bounce spot, which is, 1 second. Let's see right here, which is previously a bounce spot right here at $44. All right, so right now the stock is currently bouncing on $44. So it's very possible that it does in fact not break down the 52-week low. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. I'm looking to see if ORCL is in fact going to break down below 44, or if it's going to spike up. So what I think we're going to see here is I think we're actually going to see ORCL continue to hold support off this 44 level, because it's bounced there pretty strong 2 times, and it's already starting to uptrend, which is right there on that higher low. So we're going to be watching ORCL long. Ideally, what would probably happen is once the stock gets above its kind of pre-market resistance right here at about 44.70, that's where we'd most likely see it pop. So I would like to take it long, but I will also take it short below $44. All right. So again, that's kind of the main goal for me, is to watch ORCL potentially long over that 44.70 area, and then short below the $44 level. So ORCL gap down. This stock should be in play today. We'll be watching it. All right, next one on the watch list here we'll talk about is Dropbox, DBX. Oop, that's not DBX, DBX. So Dropbox, DBX, and the stock IQ have been in play for a couple days now. Yesterday, Dropbox had a really big red day. That's kind of what we were expecting. As we stated it earlier, we'd be looking for it to go red to yesterday, as it's been going up for so many days straight. It was about time that it had some type of red day or a pullback. So yesterday, you can see it had a massive dump all the way down. I mean, that was unexpected that it would drop so hard, but it did. So today, if you look at, let's just do a 5-day chart. If you look at this 5-day chart, all right, we're going up. So the way I see it is we're going up, we topped out, we put in a lower high, we dumped, and now we're curling back up. So I honestly think that Dropbox is going to head for another red day. It might not, but just based on what I'm seeing here with the chart, if I were to draw a trend line, it's creating higher lows going down. So in reality, if for whatever reason, I don't say for whatever reason, but if Dropbox stays below this trend line, it's bearish. All right. So we've just dropped. We're now crossing through our 200 moving averages. The moving averages are crossing over to the downside. So theoretically, we are starting a little bit of a downtrend here on Dropbox. So today for Dropbox, I would be watching Dropbox short off of yesterday's, kind of like right here at yesterday's opening price. So yesterday, Dropbox opened right around $41, $41.20, $41.12, right in that area. So I'd be looking to short Dropbox right around the $41 area for another red day. Now, I don't believe it's going to have as big of a red day as it did yesterday, but we'll see. And if Dropbox does have a red day, you're going to want to mark off all the low points from yesterday as your support areas today in which the stock could in fact bounce. So you'd want to mark off all these low points because that's most likely if Dropbox does go down, that's where we're going to see it drop to. All right. Next one on the list is IQ. So IQ is, that China-based company, supposed to be Netflix. Yesterday, it had a pretty big red day as well, where it slumped over towards the end of the day before getting bought right back up. So when a stock gets bought up like this, when a stock dumps and then it gets bought up like that, that's telling you that there's a lot of buyers coming back into the stock. And if it pushes all the way back up like this, that shows a pretty strong buying pressure. So for me today, I'm not going to be necessarily short bias on it, but I will be watching it long, over the pre-market high, which is at 44.60. And then I'd be watching it for maybe even a short scalp up towards 45. If IQ starts to break through 45 and then 45.37, we should see it push higher because yesterday, where I'm drawing these yellow circles right now, this is where a lot of people started shorting IQ. So if it starts breaking through these levels, we could really see it push very high. All right. So again, going to be watching IQ long bias today, but also if it flips short, I can trade it short bias. All right. So on to the next one. I'll talk about CLBS here. So CLBS, so it did in fact kind of bounce back a little bit. So CLBS is a stock that started moving yesterday. I believe it got some news on the stock yesterday. So yeah, if you look, CLBS was receiving news all day yesterday, and the stock kind of just trickled up from $4 to about $6. And then from after hours trading till now, it's kind of just started booming. So we'll be watching CLBS potentially long. But don't forget, guys, remember as I was stating yesterday, all the stocks that fly up pre-market like this tend to have a nasty pullback right out of the gates. But this one's a little bit different. See, this one, instead of it just flying up, it flew up and then it pulled back, and now it's starting to bounce. So right now it's just starting to bounce. So we could see this, in fact, start running out of the gates. Would not be surprised to see CLBS start running out of the gates. So again, we're going to be watching CLBS potentially long today. It received some good news yesterday, and it just got a recent news report this morning at 8:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, we'll be watching CLBS potentially long here today as well. I'll talk about LTBR. So LTBR for me is going to be a no-go, considering it has already popped up, rolled over, and started breaking down. This is not something that I would be, too crazy about trading for the most part. All right. So again, LTBR is a stock that I'm going to probably not trade today, considering it is already dumped out pre-market. So if I had to repeat this, most of the time when a stock pops up like this in pre-market trading and then it rolls over and kind of dumps out, that usually signifies that it's probably not going to have that great of a day. So again, we'll be watching. I will not be trading LTBR here this morning. All right. Another one that I was thinking about was WGO, but it's too light of volume, so we're not really going to focus there. Then the other one I will talk about is FOXA. So FOXA is 21st Century Fox. If you read the news, Disney has offered them $71.3 billion in cash and in stock. So Walt Disney Company signs amended acquisition agreement to acquire 21st Century Fox for $71.3 billion cash and stocks. And as you can see, the stock is starting to kind of really push up here this morning. So this is a stock that I would keep my eyes on today for a potential long. Whenever you have news of two stocks merging or two companies merging together as this or acquisition agreements coming together, usually they tend to have pretty good days. So we're going to be watching FOXA potentially long, but also short. Okay, it's up really big, so we could see it pull back a little bit where you can make some money on a short position. So again, that is another possibility that we will be looking for on FOXA. All right. Now MBRX, I'll see. Not really. That's not really a bull flag on MBRX. MU, as we stated, MU looked like it was ready to bounce. So we said to, well, I think it was yesterday I was talking about, maybe the day before, but to watch MU long because it had already dropped so much down to an area of support. For me personally, I would expect that MU is probably going to see a little bit of a pullback or a little spike up to 60.50. Then it pulls back. It had a really good run yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Micron pull back a little bit today. It's right on the 9 moving average on the daily chart. So I think what you'd probably see is, maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then it's going to go long or attempt to go long. All right. So again, we'll be watching MU. I won't be trading MU today particularly, but we can be watching MU for both long and short. But again, it's already bounced. So it's kind of in a high point where you really only want to take it long if you're doing a momentum trade, or if you're doing a dip buy on this particular stock. Let's see. Oh, let's look at CLPS. So CLPS, sure, it's in maybe an all-time high, or it just did, but it trades on very, very low volume. So this is not a particular stock that I would primarily focus on because of how light the volume is. So you can watch it. It does look like it has some news this morning. So again, you can watch CLPS, but for me, it's a low volume trading stock at this point. So I'm not going to be super adamant about trading anything that's very, very low volume. I will mention this, that the watch list isn't quite as fire as I would like it to be. There's a lot of stocks that are just kind of like, to me today. So, we'll see. So again, that's primarily my watch list. I'm going to watch Dropbox. I'll watch IQ. I'm going to watch FOXA. I'll keep an eye on CLBS. Oh yeah, right. CLBS. I'll keep an eye on CLBS just in case, You could also, just in case, keep an eye on GEVO. GEVO might have another short squeeze today. And then ASTC. ASTC, this is most likely going to just head down. It was overly traded yesterday, really choppy. So you could watch ASTC, but for the most part, you're probably going to see ASTC start dumping out. But do note that a lot of people are shorting the stock ASTC. So if a lot of people are shorting it, it does also run the possibility of having a short squeeze. So do keep that in mind. So yeah, GEVO, do keep GEVO on watch. As I just stated, a lot of people are shorting the stock. So when a lot of people are shorting the stock, it runs a great risk of short squeezing. So again, today I would be watching GEVO for a potential short squeeze. Where that short squeeze is going to happen, not entirely sure, right? You're just going to have to follow the stock and be able to determine it. As you can see from yesterday's high of 24, followed by its next lower high, followed down, you can see it's kind of rejecting that trend line. So over that trend line could be a good long, okay? ARRY. ARRY for me, too low volume, not necessarily something I would really focus on trading. For me, it's just not my style, but it's into a 52-week high. So since it's into a 52-week high, do expect that you might see a little bit of a pullback. Again, I don't follow this stock, so I'm not up to date on the news. But again, I would suspect that you're probably going to start seeing a pullback on ARRY. Netflix hit like 406 yesterday, I think, NFLX. Now it's at 413. So Netflix has just been on a steady grind, but again, it's a little extended. So if you're going to be trading Netflix, you're going to have to get it on a dip or a pullback. So just be careful because it is extended and it probably due for a little bit of a pullback here. Cron, I'll talk about Cron real quick. So for me, Cron, still not buying Cron. Actually, yesterday would have been a good dip buy opportunity right off these lows at like 652. That would have been a good entry for it. But again, right, Cron is, do I have that? Yeah, CRON is still trending up in this pattern. So if all goes well, they receive good news and they don't have any negative news hit them here relatively soon, I would expect we're going to see CRON kind of channel in here for a second, and then it's going to pop up and out of this. So I'll be looking at potentially swing trading CRON here in the next couple days. Do remember, all right, do remember that just because CRON is up right now, it doesn't mean that it can't channel in and break down. So you have to be thinking both long and short, because right now CRON is currently in a pattern that could go both long and it could go both short. It is uptrending currently, so more long bias. Personally, I would like to buy CRON down here by this trend line or the 200 moving average. That's primarily where I want to enter. So I'll be watching CRON closely as it gets into the end of this pattern. All right. So again, that is my watch list here for you guys today. So again, watch list there, not the best one, kind of all over the place. So not really too proud of it, to be completely honest. So that's okay. Daniel, that's all kind of based on, you know, like how many stocks should you trade is all based on yourself. If you're a beginner, really you should only be focusing on 2 stocks at a time. For me, I can focus on, you know, the more stocks I focus on, usually the worse I trade, but I'm able to manage watching myself 10, 15 stocks at a time. And I can spot entries and exits in the split of a split second. So I can kind of just navigate to a different screen, enter, get out, you know. So again, that's something that, you know, takes time to get used to and to really get good at. So that's all I have for you guys today. So hopefully tomorrow kind of brings a better watch list. I had a little bit of a late start today, so that probably also adds into the fact of me not creating the best watch list. So Mr. C, yes, we trade live. Not only myself, in our private group, we have 2 other traders that join us throughout the week for a couple days out of the week. So you know, from Monday through Friday, you'll either have access to me or you're going to have access to 2 other professional traders in our group that we trade live. You know, and it's not that we encourage traders to follow our trades exactly, because we do lose, right? And there's nothing worse than taking a trade that you take and you take a trade with us and you lose money. But we do trade in real time, in live time, so you guys can experience what it's really like to see firsthand fast trading, day trading, coming from professional traders. We do call outs. We talk about different stocks that we're going to be trading and things like that. So if any of you guys want to experience that, it's the first link in the description below. Other than that, I will have to hop off here. Thank you, Daniel, for about the shirt. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Rick, we are almost there. The website for everything. So I'm not making any of that till I have the website to present it on. So we're almost done with that website. Yes. So other than that, that is all I have for you guys today. So do take care, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for hopefully a little bit better of a watch list. All right, guys, take care.